going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamari4 here once again. And I know that this video is relatively late. This is going to be the review for the final episode of Season 4 of The Walking Dead. I almost wasn't about to do this review just because of how much time had gone by, but I was just like, fuck it. It's the last episode, and we ain't going to get no Walking Dead Season 5 till like fucking October. However, if y'all who have been watching the show, have y'all been entering that Walking Dead fantasy sweepstakes? I have. I think it's like throughout the second half of season 4, they've had like 2 keywords throughout the episode, and you would go onto the website, put in your, your address and phone number, email and stuff, and you could win a trip for 2 to the screening of season 5 in Los Angeles. You get like $250 spending change and $500 credit on the Walking Dead store. So I've been entering. Me and my friend have been entering, and we was like, if either one of us win, we would take each other. So that should be fun. But anyway, I'm gonna get on to this episode. I don't have any notes written down, or I'm not gonna do a play-by-play. But most of them, I'm just gonna kind of talk about the basis of what happened in this episode. First of all, I just want to say that I fucking called it last week when it comes to Terminus, because I said March 23rd, as soon as that bitch came and was like, oh, you look like you've been, you've been on the road for a long time, well, settle down and we'll get you a plate and welcome to Terminus. I'm like, nope. Because there is no way, let me tell y'all, this is the fucking zombie apocalypse. Food, resources, ammunition, all that stuff is scarce. So why would you have a place where you're telling any and everybody to come to this supposed sanctuary, okay, in a land or a time where there's limited food and resources? Why would you be inviting every Tom, Harry, Billy, Bob, Sarah, and Jessica to be coming to this one area unless you're killing them and eating them? Like, these people are fucking cannibals. I called that shit over a week ago. I'm like, it don't make no sense. It would not make no sense. If everybody else in the world is walking around here struggling, eating half of rabbits and shit, but yet you're talking about some food for all, community for all, sanctuary for all, no such thing. There's no such thing. So, when she said that, I was like, I called that shit. Secondly, I'm gonna come back to Terminus when Rick and them got there, but secondly, let's see. Michonne told Carl about, well, first of all, the people that, Daryl was with, I don't even know what was his name? I can't even remember, child. If y'all know, tell me in the comments, I can't remember his name. But he was with that dude who killed the other guy for lying, trying to set Daryl up. And they was going out on a, because y'all remember, that's the same group, apparently, that was in the house when Rick was, underneath the bed and shit. And I believe they were coming after Rick because they killed his friend. And they found him. And at first, Daryl said he wasn't going to go with them, but he decided to go with them at the last minute. So when they met up with Rick, Michonne, and Carl, they put a gun to his head. And they had Carl, they was beating up on Carl. They had Michonne tied up. And she was like, he was like, these are bad people, talking to Daryl. Daryl was trying to say, let him go. He was like, these are bad people. So, but you're saying that they're good people and we should let them go. And he's trying to say that, oh, Daryl lied. And so since Daryl lied, they start fucking him up. They said they was about to kill the boy first. No, or kill the girl. I think they said they were going to kill Michonne first. They was probably going to rape her. Then kill her. Then kill the boy. And then shoot Rick. So, at this point, Carl's getting beat up. Michonne's getting rough handled. And Daryl's fighting that other dude. And this whole time, this dude has a gun to Rick's head. And you could tell, like, Rick slowly but surely was turning a little crazy. I could tell he was about to bust out and do something, like, really, really desperate. So, he ends up headbutting the leader dude, and he just, like, went into fucking daze. And I guess long story short, he wrapped his arm around him and he had him like submitted like this, and he was like, "What the fuck you gonna do? What the fuck you gonna do?" Well, Rick did some shit I wasn't ready for on screen. I did not. I saw it. I think I realized what he was about to do like right before he did it. And I was just like, "Oh shit!" This dude bit this dude's neck like a fucking vampire, and then just the blood just spewed. Just I didn't even know how to feel about it because it's almost like I like the dude, sort of, kinda, because he stood up for Daryl, but when you about to shoot Rick in the head, we ain't friends no more. So they he's dead, and then once Rick's overcome him, it was like Michonne grabbed the dude that was holding the gun because he was so distracted, shot him, and then shot the other guy that was fighting Daryl. I think, is that how it happened? She shot somebody across the way. I couldn't really follow, but Rick came up on that big fat dude, and I'm still confused as to how he just, because he was about to kill Carl, but I think for some reason he just let him go, and then he just started backing away. Rick got the knife and shoot him, and it looked like, because they didn't really show it necessarily, but it made it seem like he stabbed him. Then he dragged the knife through his body, then up through his chin, and he just stabbed. I was just like, damn, Rick. Do you feel, are you okay? Do you feel a sort of a way? Because, shit. But hey, Rick, at this point in the season, Rick is pretty much, like they said in The Talking Dead, he's kind of accepted his wild, crazy side and then his humane side at the same time. Because he would be trying to hide it for the sake of Carl. At this point, he's just like, fuck that. It is what the fuck it is. And then they was doing like a whole bunch of flashbacks throughout this episode, which I felt was kind of unnecessary. They did a lot of unnecessary things towards the latter part of the season, because a good portion of those episodes I didn't need to see. It was, I really could have done without. Now, mind you, we still don't know what the fuck happened to Beth, and it seems like nobody really gives too much of a fuck, because Daryl just said, like, is she gone? Is she, like, what happened? She just said she's gone. And Maggie hasn't given a fuck about her own sister, so it's just like, they don't give a fuck. But then after that happened, Michonne could tell that Carl was looking at his dad like he was scared of him, and she wanted, and that he still felt comfortable with her, but she wanted to make sure that she, explained to him, like, you shouldn't be afraid of us. And she said that she talked about her boyfriend and his friend, how she let them turn and how she cut off their jaws and their arms so they couldn't bite or scratch, and just holding them around and made them invincible. Like, she was just mainly trying to say that she's done some messed up and fucked up things too, and so that you shouldn't be afraid of either of us. We're just doing what we feel like we have to do to survive. So there's that. I don't think I missed anything else that was relatively important. So we can get back to Terminus. Like I said, these bitches were cannibals. Like, this shit, I don't know how much more obvious they could have made it. But honestly, the only reason, I think one of the reasons that led me to believe that they were cannibals is because if you played The Walking Dead, the video game, and if you haven't played that, I strongly advise you to go. If you have an iPhone, I believe it's there for Android. The video game is on 360 and PlayStation, if I'm not mistaken. If you are a fan of the Walking Dead series, buy that video game. If you don't want to go out and buy it, if you have an iPhone, buy that app. It is, well, the season 1 comes with 5 episodes. Each episode is $5, mind you, but I'm telling you, like, you can get the whole pack for like $15, but I am telling y'all, this is a bomb-ass game. This is like one of the best iPhone app games I have ever played. Each episode will take you around roughly 2.5 to 3 hours to get through, depending on how fast you kind of figure out what it is you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. But the game allows you to kind of tell your own story, because it's one of those games where you can, make your own decisions. Like different scenarios will happen, and you can respond different ways. You can be kind to people, you can be nasty to people, you can save certain people. Like they give you options to tell different stories depending on what character you save. So it's really really good. I'm into season 2 now, and I just finished episode 2. The only thing I hate about this shit is that they stretch the fuck out of these 5 or so episodes. They like the first episode for season 2 came out in December, and this shit didn't come out again until fucking March. I'm like, that's way too fucking long to be waiting for the damn shit. But it's an awesome game. Like you really, by the end of season 1, you are in tears. You feel some sort of a way. But like I highly recommend anybody who watches this is a fan of the Walking Dead series, buy that game. Just type in The Walking Dead in the App Store search box. So, anyways, let's get back to Terminus. Oh wait, no. The reason why I mentioned the Walking Dead game is because in season 1 there was a farm where people were the characters were held up at a gas station, and some people came that was living on this farm a few miles up the road, and you know they was offering them food and shelter and all this other stuff in exchange for some gas. So long story short, they get back to the farm, kind of check it out and see what it is. Everything looks good, everything looks safe, they have all these food, and it just turns out that they had the people who were, came to the gas station looking for people. They are the people who are scouting out for survivors to bring them back to the farm to kill their ass and turn them into food. Because one of the people that they had with them ended up getting killed, and you have to save the rest of your people from eating them or make them realize that they're about to eat their friend. So that's why I just knew that these bitches were cannibals, because I'm like, just from the Walking Dead game, it just made me seem like they're gonna take a page from it. So we get to Terminus. Rick and them, they don't go through the front door like Maggie and them did. They go through the back, and then they finally talk to the people, and you know they said they wanted to see them before they see you, or Rick and them wanted to see them before they saw them. So they, you know, they try to assure them that you can drop your weapons. You don't have to be, you know, all high sprung and whatever. And you know, they check them. Everything seems all good and nice, but I'm just waiting for some fuck shit. I'm like, this shit don't look right. Like, there's no way. This whole place makes no sense. So they're walking out, and Rick notices the watch that I believe Herschel gave to Maggie. Something, I can't remember how that transpired, but it was something that he saw. It was the watch, I believe, that he saw that it belonged to somebody from this previous group. And so Rick just went ham and cheese. They was trying to offer him and his group a plate of meat. I was just waiting for somebody to ask what the fuck that was. Like, are y'all just gonna sit there and eat foreign shit in the zombie apocalypse? I think not. But yeah, he just went ape shit. He grabbed his gun, and I'm like, Rick, I understand that you thought some fuck shit was going on, but it didn't seem very intelligent to just go head on like that. And you have all these people around you just ready to fuck you up. I would have took mental note, and then would have went investigating afterwards. But he just flew up the handles, asking where the fuck you get this watch, and everybody's all hostile, everybody's aiming their guns, and they start shooting. They just get into this shooting. Well, actually, this is the weird thing. It seemed like when they shot the first dude, who was a part of Terminus, they was running and shooting at people, but it seemed like they weren't trying to kill them. It seemed like they were almost like shooting at their feet, almost like leading them to somewhere. Because I'm like, if y'all was really trying to shoot them, y'all would have hit them. So, they get to this room with all these candles and all these names around in a circle. I'm like, fuck that. If this doesn't give you an indication that these bitches is cannibals, I just don't know what else. I just know what else would. And long story short, they get trapped and they get cornered and they get put into this boxcar. And once they all get into the boxcar, they realize that Bob and Maggie, Glenn, and the people that they was with trying to go to Washington, D.C. were all in the boxcar, and they were just like, oh my God, I can't believe you guys are here. And then Rick gives that epic line at the end. They're screwing with the wrong people, even though he wanted to say fucking with the wrong people, but they couldn't say that for TV. And so that's how the season ends. The season ends where they're in Terminus. They realize that Terminus is some fuck shit, and they're about to take over this bitch. It kind of reminds me of the battle between them and Woodbury. So we'll see how different this goes. So this should be interesting. I can't wait for the season finale. Oh, not the season finale, but the season 5 premiere. And let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this episode. And I can't wait to see what you guys thought. Bye-bye.